What's up, nerds and nerdettes and you little nerdlings all? It's your buddy Big Johnny G from Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. All right. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another Midday Monologue Monday. Your buddy here with you. And the topic today, my friends, SUPERSIZE, my game. So there are games that are come out and they're usually generally pretty good games overall, and then a couple of years later you might see a deluxe edition of them come out. Well, that's what I'm talking about, deluxe edition of games that are already in existence, but they need, in my opinion, and maybe yours as well, an updated deluxe version. So I got three titles that I love, and I would love to see updated into a bigger, more deluxe version. What games is it that you play? Is it art? No, that's not right. What games do you play that you would like to see a larger, bigger deluxe version for? A version? Did I actually just say that? A deluxe version for that you will not be averted away from. So, all right, I got my notes right here. Not that I'm sure I really need them for this, but nice to have them on hand just in case, my friends. All right, so the first game, my regular viewers are going to know because it was last month's subscriber giveaway prize, and that is Deathbot Derby. Deathbot Derby is a great little game. I don't mean that anything more than physically. Physically, it's a little game. Easy to carry around, easy to have with you, easy to throw down on the table. The rules are fast and simple. It's all about building a bot through card selection and then laying out a randomly drawn battlefield of cards that are dual-sided. Both sides are different, right? The up and the down side are different, and they both flip. They all flip. So each card really has 4 different unique battle spots on it, and it's a really fun game. And they have these cool little meeples shaped like robots. They call them robits. Really, really nice, very cool. I enjoy the game. I'm so happy I was able to give 2 copies away last month. But I still think that this game, I would like to see anyway, a deluxe version of. So for Deathbot Derby, what I was thinking about could make an interesting deluxe collector's edition or something of that game would be, first of all, you would get rid of the really cool looking robits. Zach, I know, I love them. They look great, they really do. Zach Conley is the designer. He lives here in New York, so I know him. They're really cool. I really love them. I love their name. It is, nice. But what I was thinking, if this was going to be made into a deluxe version, that it would be nice to see that it wasn't meeples, that it was hard plastic piece. Like you would have a piece for your general robot body, because there's 4 of them: the red, the blue, the green, and the yellow, and they all look a little different, their bodies. So you would have those as the base sets, but then you would be able to clip onto them, not talking about stepping on anyone's ownership, propriety rights to item meeples, but something similar, but that would be legally different so you don't get in trouble, you know? Like the item meeples have little holes in the front and the back, so you can make it look like they have things in their hands or wearing a cape or something. But this I just see as pieces that go together. So each card that is going to build your robot, cards that have the different movement, such as the tread wheels or the spike wheels or the spider legs, all those kind of things that they have a matching plastic piece for. So all the melee and the ranged attacks likewise have these matching pieces. So they really just piecemeal together your robot meeple, your robit in the deluxe edition. You piece it together. I think that would look phenomenal. Got a big truck going by. Just for you, Anthony. Anthony, I know how much you love all the background noise. That was for you. I sent out a memo for them. Now, another thing that I think would just thematically look nice if you're going to do a deluxe edition of these games, such as Deathbot Derby. So I think Deathbot Derby, now this is not something I generally look for. Actually, I'm not the biggest fan of it in general, and that's the tin boxes, the metal boxes. Dice of Thrones, Dice of Pirates comes to mind, I think they're called. Forbidden Island, Forbidden Desert. I'm not really a big fan, but I think thematically, and especially for such a small container that you would need for a Deathbot Derby, I think that a metal tin box would be awesome. It would be phenomenal as far as, you know, thematically matching the game. So that would be fun. And one other thing for Deathbot Derby Deluxe Edition, if something like this ever happens, is instead of having regular playing cards that you're, well, not regular, I mean, but the special playing cards to make the battle area, the battle arena, is actually use tiles. You know, like they do in Forbidden Island and Triassic Terror, you know, games like that. Betrayal, the Betrayal games. To use, I think that would feel, and I also think it would look a little bit better on the board than just the card. So for a deluxe version, I think those are three really great ideas. Row bits that you piece together to match the cards that you're building your robot with. So you have little individual plastic pieces that look exactly like what you're doing. Then when you take the damage, when like, let's say your movement gets damaged to 0, boom, you just pop it off. Yeah, cool, right? All right, the tin box, and then actual cardboard tiles instead of the cards. So I think that those three options would make a really super cool Deathbot Derby Deluxe Edition. Now, another game that I've talked about a few times here on this show, especially because I love the name, Rock, Paper, Wizard. Yeah, Rock, Paper, Wizard. Everyone knows the game. It's rock, paper, scissors. But with cards set in the D&D setting, a bunch of you and your party are a bunch of wizards. You just killed a dragon. Now you're all fighting each other over the treasure. So it's a very, very interesting game. Well, I'd like to see an updated deluxe version of it. I know the game isn't really old. In fact, the first expansion is only just coming out now, A Fistful of Monsters. But I would still like to see a deluxe edition of this. And for that, I think that the game box, for a deluxe edition, it would be awesome if the game box looked like an old, beat-up wizard spell book. Yeah, oh, that would look, and just picture it sitting on your shelf, too. I mean, just in and of itself, it would look cool, and sitting on your shelf, it would look amazing. People would be like, yo, what's that? It would generate people talking about the game. See, it's good for the game. Now, another thing is, if you're going to do that, then you might as well have the deluxe come out with the expansion in it. And if not, at least have enough room in the box that you can put the expansion in. I think that's also 100% needed if you're going to do the deluxe version of Rock, Paper, Wizards. Two other points about this game. One, the game uses cardboard standees for your characters, and from a distance, sometimes the colors and everything, they wash in together. And if you try to look real fast across the table, I'm not saying this happens a lot, but it's easy to mis-see your character for a moment as someone else. Now, I understand this game is by WizKids and not by Wizards of the Coast, but they're putting it out for Wizards of the Coast. So Wizards of the Coast own title, Dungeons and Dragons, and Wizards of the Coast has tons of minis available. So I really wish they had given some pre-painted minis, or at least sold at a super discount price to make it worth it to WizKids to use, because it just looks so fantastic to see them sitting on the board, going for the dragon's treasure, and right away, boom, you know your character. You don't even have to look on the board for it because it would be so unique and standing out. And the other one is they have little chits, little pieces, cardboard pieces to represent the gold. I think it's like 1, 2, and 5. Is it 1, 3, and 5? Something like that. But instead of using the little cardboard chits, if you're going to do a deluxe edition, why don't you make it something more physical? You know, make it some gold painted plastic. Like the ones can be single individual like coins, and the second grade up, 2 or 3, whatever it is, could be something more along the lines of like a golden idol, or a single piece of treasure. And then, well, the big loot, the 5, like that would be a treasure chest opened up and like see the little gold and jewelry and stuff spilling out of it. That would look super duper cool. So for Rock Paper Wizards, a deluxe edition game box that looks like a spell book, room to hold the expansion if it doesn't come with the expansion as the deluxe, pre-painted miniatures instead of the standees, and actual plastic gold painted pieces like coins and idols and treasure chests for the money pieces. I think that would make it a really awesome deluxe edition. Now, third and last one is another favorite game of mine. It's another Dungeons & Dragons game, actually. It's come up recently in a discussion here on Two Gun Pixie, and while I was thinking about what kind of games that I own and or that I've played that I would like to see a deluxe edition of, and I was thinking, well, what else is there? Boom! This just exploded in my mind, my friends. And that game is by TSR, which would mean nowadays, I guess, it's by Wizards of the Coast, since they pretty much own all of TSR's library these days. And that game, coming at you from the 80s, Dragonlance. Now, Dragonlance was a really fun game. You're trying to get the Dragonlance, and you're riding dragons, and you have like an army. I think it's a horde of 5 dragons per player. And you have the good dragons, the gold, the bronze, and the silver, and then the red, the green, and I think it's the blue for the evil dragons on the other side. And it has what can be best described as kind of like poker chips, and you use them to stack for elevation when you're flying, and that matters a lot in combat, as you can imagine. So it's a really fun game, and I would love to see an updated version of this. I don't think they've done any sort of new additions to this at all since it originally dropped. So honestly, complete overhaul in the components. If we're going to be doing a deluxe edition of this and make it worthwhile, the components, let's just start from scratch with them. And first of all, instead of using a single dragon miniature, some of them are painted gold, and some of them are painted red, and some of them are painted blue, and some of them are painted silver. No, use actual miniatures that look like these Dungeons and Dragons dragons, as well as them being painted as such. That's the first thing with the components. Second, I'd like to see a meeple or miniature rider that, you would choose this dragon is the dragon my dragon rider is on, and boom, there he goes. Or she, Kitty Ara, I know, is in it as one of the dragon riders. So that would, physically, aesthetically, it would look phenomenal. It would look great. I haven't used that word phenomenal a lot today, right now, haven't I? But it's true, because it would. It absolutely would. Another thing is, I would like to see small decks of fixed action cards specific for each of the dragons riders. One for Tanis, one for Kitiara, one for Lord Soth, and such and such and such. And these cards would do things like maybe for one turn, there's ground cavalry that can hit any dragon either on the ground within X amount of hexes, or that is within such a height. That would be cool. Maybe some of them are magic items, maybe some of them are spells, but they would be different to each of the particular dragon riders. Like, I don't picture Tanis having an action card that would allow ground forces to come attack Lord Soth, but Kitiara, Lord Soth, I could definitely see that for. Oh yeah, so I mentioned those little poker chips for the elevation. Well, I think that they should be individualized instead of the way the current old game is, and it's all white, universally the same, is for the gold dragons, they're gold. For the silver, they're silver. The blue, they're blue. Blah, 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 blah. My friends, you follow at this point, I'm quite sure. Now, if you want to take a step further, maybe little intricate designs on the sides of each of them, to make them different, that could be cool too. But as long as they're color-coded, I think that's basically good enough. And the last thing I want to say about Dragonlance is I would like to see an optional rule for team versus team instead of all versus all. I think that could be interesting too. So you get the good guys versus the bad guys instead of good guys and bad guys, free for all. So those are the games that I would like to see deluxe editions for. So let me know in the comments below what board games you've played or own that you would like to see a deluxe updated version of. So those are my three, probably my top three. So the first three that came to my head while I was trying to think of this list. All right, so thank you everyone for following us on Facebook, thank you for following us on Twitter, following us on Instagram. Some of you follow us on Instagram more than we follow ourselves on Instagram. But most of all, my friends, as always, thank you so much for subscribing to us here on YouTube. Thank you for liking our videos, for sharing our videos, commenting on our videos. It makes our day. It really does. You're some of the greatest friends, fans, viewers in the world. Whatever you want to call yourself, that's it. You're like one of the greatest to us in our perspective that we could possibly know. So I'm your buddy Big Johnny G for Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming, and my friends, I am out of here.